Hey guys, Uncle Ray, welcome to another episode of the Crypto Bellwether. On this channel, we cut through the hype and the noise, and I give you the non-biased information you can use to make informed decisions. Now, I do my deep dives for me, and I share what I uncover with my community. My goal is to get you in that 10% club. 90% of everyone that invests in crypto lose money, and I want to change that. So therefore, I don't always tell you what you want to hear. I tell you what you need to hear. And in times like this, guys, you need to hear me out. Spend this time educating yourself on the truth of what you're dealing with. Everyone has an opinion, but I think you would agree that not all opinions are the same. A lot of people have financial backgrounds, a lot of people don't. A lot of people have huge followings and been around in crypto for 10 years. That doesn't make them an expert on what's going on right now globally. They may not understand tokenomics or M2 money supply or the carry trade or bull call spreads or how to do arbitrage or buy the spot market and short the perps. They may not understand stuff like that. But if you don't have that knowledge, they may seem very, very smart. So I highly recommend do not buy another altcoin without doing what I'm going to share with you. And it will save you a lot of money, and it will give you the information you need to make good decisions. Guys, you can't fall in love with these tokens. The tokens that are the most tribal are the ones that have the most lies and misinformation. And once you buy one of those, you keep going back to the influencers that keep telling you what you want to hear. Well, what I'm going to share with you in this video literally will change everything about who you listen to and how you buy and sell crypto if you will do this. If not, guys, I just can't help you. So that being said, we're going to dive into some alpha, and I really believe this is very important. And then I'll let you decide if it matters and if you think it will help the way you invest. Now, before we dive into it, guys, I do one-on-one coaching. I have a lot of shorting course, a portfolio course, all kinds of stuff. We'll talk about at the end of this video. All right, hit the like button. Let's dive into it. Guys, it's brutal. Right now, it's brutal, and you hear a lot of opinions. And what's weird to me is a lot of people have been wrecked in certain projects, but yet they want to keep buying them back. And a lot of these projects are built on speculation and just hype and a certain narrative. And a lot of projects, for example, have bad tokenomics. So I know when you surf around and different people say different things, and I'm going to give you an example. This one's about XRP, and it's not really about XRP. It's about you understanding how what I'm about to share with you, how you can get to the bottom of who has information and who is right and who is wrong. And therefore, you'll be able to tell and kind of weed out who to listen to. So I'm going to make a statement. Now, bear with me. You know, you're always hearing all the news about Ripple. And they're like, oh, banks are using XRP. Everyone's using XRP. All the money, all the rails, $10,000 XRP, $50,000 buybacks. Guys, 90% of that is straight BS. Here's my point. What I just said, if you don't believe me on something, go to Grok. This will change your life. So let me give you an example. When I say banks do not, Ripple's customers, including the banks, do not own or buy XRP. They pay to use Ripple's supply. How is that bullish? It's not. Okay, if you disagree with that because of a lot of the misinformation you've heard, go to Grok, type in exactly that statement. and let Grok sort it out for you. Grok is about as unbiased as I am. Grok doesn't care what you buy. Grok just wants to give you the information you've asked for. It's not going to, and you have to learn how to use Grok. And guys, I'm telling you, it will change your thought process. For example, pick any token you want, and you say, I'm going to buy this token, but I've heard this about it. Type that statement in and say, prove that wrong or prove it right, and see what Grok has to say. Ask Grok why tokenomics matter. Say, I'm looking to invest in this project. Is this good tokenomics or bad tokenomics? Well, it's bad, let's just say. Well, why does that matter? So guys, if you understand the game and the tokenomics, which is what wrecks more people than anything outside of just the misinformation, you'll understand that it's crypto. Anything can pump at any given time, just like market cap. Market cap matters. Tokenomics and math matter. But if you don't understand that, or you're listening to someone that's telling you this stupid stuff, like the supply shock in XRP, when it has 100 billion tokens, it has a lifetime, like 100-year, 1,000-year supply. Stop listening to that person. Type into Grok. Is it possible for XRP to have a supply shock, being that Ripple owns half the supply and there's 100 billion tokens out there? See what he says. I highly recommend, guys. And again, this is not about XRP. This is about understanding what I'm trying to share with you. Get to the bottom of the information that you need. So what I'm trying to say is that if you hear a statement from anyone, good or bad, like $10,000 XRP, type in the Grok. Grok, is that humanly possible? Someone told me that was not humanly possible and it was a joke. And then other people tell me it's extremely true. See what Grok says. And no matter what he says, say, well, what's your timeline for that? And what's the probability for that happening? And here's the biggest point I want to make. Once you go through, say, 5, 10 different tokens, and you learn one fact that is virtually impossible, like $10,000 XRP, is not going to happen ever, at least in your lifetime. And realistically, I just invest bull run to bull run. I highly recommend you do that. Hodling is the easiest and best way to get wrecked. But once you understand that that is not mathematically possible, and you start to surf around and you hear people say it, take them off your list. Because anyone that remotely thinks that XRP can get to 10K, they're really naive, very uneducated, probably dishonest, in my opinion. Again, if you disagree with me, type it into Grok. Let him be the tiebreaker. Because if someone says one thing, tokenomics matter, tokenomics don't matter, they both can't be right, guys. Get to the bottom of it. Now, I'm going to give you an example. And I highly recommend you start here in your education process if you don't understand tokenomics. Now, I'm not going to hate on HBAR. It's just an example. Only in crypto can you not have an adult conversation about your money. People call it FUD. They don't want to hear it. Guys, HBAR used to be my biggest bag. And I knew it didn't have the best tokenomics, but the reason I stacked so much HBAR was that I believed that with all the adoption and all the wonderful tech and the things that it has going for it, that it had to hit a new all-time high in this bull run. And I stacked it at like 4.5 cents to 5 cents. So I'm like, man, it's almost a guaranteed 10x in my opinion. And the reason I got past the tokenomics was, for the most part, unlike most projects, HBAR doesn't go out and buy other companies or jets with their profits. They take that supply and their profits and they throw it back into the ecosystem. So therefore, there's an old saying, follow the devs, follow the ecosystem growth. Well, that's true, but bad tokenomics, it doesn't matter. Now this is going to prove my point. This is HBAR. It's trading at 14 cents. Okay, this is its historical all-time high. Now, it had immense amount of adoption. And it just announced, which I'll be doing a video on it, that it has a partnership with NVIDIA. That should explode HBAR. Well, look at this. Look at the historical market cap. Guys, this was the market cap of HBAR in the last bull run. It is almost 3.5x its market cap. So it's extremely bullish. It's been getting all the adoption. But look at the difference in price. See, if you had good tokenomics and HBAR wasn't flooding the market in the last 5 years in the bear market, this would be your price. If the price matched the market cap growth of this cycle, HBAR would be at like $1.50. And see, here's another thing that I learned that people hate to hear, and they just don't believe it, but do some research. 90% of all tokens do not hit a new all-time high in its second bull run. Go back to 2017. Ethereum, Bitcoin, XLM, XRP, IOTA. Baddest tokens on the planet. The next following bull run, Bitcoin and Ethereum made a new all-time high. And you want to hear something else? There's only been 2 documented tokens that I can find that have ever hit a new all-time high in its third bull run that didn't in its second. See, I go by probabilities, guys. So I believe, unfortunately for HBAR, because of its tokenomics, it's not going to make a new all-time high in this bull run. And if it is, it's not going to be by much. It's going to have to like 5, 6, 7x its market cap from the last bull run. It's getting the adoption. Tokenomics matter. Now, I'm hyping on that, or harping on that, but hear me out. The whole point on this video is not to talk bad about any token, not XLM, which is in the same boat as Hedera, not XRP. But what I want you to understand is you're getting misinformation. You don't have a fair chance. It's like watching CNN. If you believe what they're telling you, no wonder you're going to vote and think and burn Teslas and stupid stuff like that. And no wonder you're going to hate on people that tell you the truth. Because I make statements on this channel all the time. And I'm willing to go debate at any time with anyone the facts. And I've called out multiple influencers because it's a pet peeve of mine. I don't know why I hate being lied to about my money so much, or hate to be lied to about my community, their money, but I call people out. They never respond. Why? Because you can't factually back up a lie. And if you look at the comment sections, when you get a lot of hate for saying something like I've already said in this video, which I'm sure I'll get hated on, they just go, oh, you don't know what you're talking about, or Joe told me this. Well, guys, either the statements I have said are true and can be proven, and I know what I'm talking about, and I can defend it, or the other person is right? You think banks buy and hold XRP? Ask Grok. He will laugh at you. Say, name me 10 banks that own and store XRP. They're like, okay, I can't. So therefore, you understand that banks are not going to buy XRP. It's too volatile. It's common sense. And then therefore, you'll know how much lies you've been told. How many lies you've been told. Anyway, again, guys, the whole point about this video is take this time and this downtime before you go out and buy more tokens. and figure out the good and the bad. I don't care what you invest in, but I go by probabilities, right? If I've got two choices, for example, let's say RWA tokens, both are pretty much the same sexy story, right? Same market cap, and they're really good projects, but one has worse tokenomics. Well, I'm going to buy the other one. The odds are in my favor. Another example, if one is on Solana or the other one's on Ethereum, but they're basically equal across the board, I'm personally going to go with Solana because of the gas fees. Doesn't mean it's going to pump better, but I don't have to make 200% of my money, to break even. So the whole point of that is, again, guys, start to use Grok. It's amazing. And use it to prove you wrong. Ask Grok straight up, Grok, here's my thoughts. Prove me wrong. Tell me why I'm wrong. Tell me why I'm right. See, and once you understand a couple of facts, because I'm often having to share information with Grok that he doesn't know, and once I do, we normally tend to agree. And that's because, it's new technology and it's not perfect. And it gets a lot of its information from Twitter, which is misinformation. I once asked Grok, I said, Grok, can you tell the difference between dumb money and smart money comments? And he said, yes. He said, the difference is the dumb money makes statements like, X token to the moon, or buy this now or you're an idiot, right? And then smart money can give you factual data to prove things right. And he goes, I tend to try to use the factual data provided to back up someone's point. Then I know they're smarter than the other people. Now, that being said, guys, we are killing it shorting right now. I have a shorting course. It's only $250. I really believe everyone should learn to short. Then you can hedge. Like if you're going to hodl, learn to hedge on low leverage. Go short. Buy the spot. Go short. Like when something pumps and you're like, I'm not going to take profits, like the Dino tokens in November. Well, you could have just went short like I did if you didn't want to take profits. So where all those profits are down 50, 60, 70% since then, and you lost that 3, 4, 5x, you could have made it shorting. But I also have a portfolio course where I teach you how to get a game plan. We go through your portfolio, teach you how to compare, teach you how to dollar cost average in and out, have an inner circle, lots of ways to help you. Now, whether you take me up on any of that, guys, do yourself a favor. Get some non-biased research. Do your own homework. Get a game plan. And if you don't take profits, you'll become the profits. I would say that at least 90% of everyone watching this have made some pretty decent money, at least on a certain amount of tokens in their portfolio. But most of you guys didn't take any profits. You didn't even take out your initial investment when you got a 3x, 4x, 5x. Guys, that's going to get you in that 90% club. Hopefully you're learning through this cycle, right? A lot of people have went up and down 3 different times making money in this cycle. Most people thought, oh, the election's over. Look at the Dino tokens. They're all going to go, $10,000 XRP. XLM's going to take over real world assets. XDC to the moon. Algorand to the moon. Where are they now? But I didn't mean to get on that hype train, but guys, it comes down to taking profits. If you take profits along the way, you love times like this. This is brutal, but I got dry powder. You know why? Because I took profits all during November and December. If you need some help, guys, let me know. I say all this with love. I didn't mean to get on my rant, but guys, this is brutal and you need good information, right? Don't think things are fun. Successful people want to hear the bad. You know, I've been around rich people since I got out of college, and investors, whether it's real estate, commodities, stocks, and they only want to talk about the downside. And see, that's another thing you need to understand. Wall Street, the big dogs are here. They're not buying these tokens and holding them for a 10x. Are you out of your mind? No, guys, they're going to get 30% and dump it. They're going to use leverage, get 80% and dump it. They're going to, on days like this, they're just going to go into a low altcoin and start buying. Spread some hyped up story, and you open up, crypto bubbles, and you see something like core, which is only up 12%, but it'd be up 30, 40, 50% in a sea of red. It's the easiest short you're ever going to make. I just called the short on Ripple and XRP. Got hated on in the comments. It was trading at 220. I said, Ripple's going to dump. They dump it the first of the month. This is 8 months in a row that XRP went lower than its peak in the first week of the month. Go back and check it, guys, or I'll leave a link at the end with my video. Again, not harping on XRP. I want to educate you guys. There's thousands of tokens that have the same bad tokenomics or the same BS, right? You have to understand it. Why would you possibly fall in love with these things? They don't care about you. Ripple doesn't care about you. They just dumped on you and bought $1.2 billion company. Like today or yesterday, they announced it. That's money coming out of the ecosystem, guys. None of this is like what you think. And again, don't mean to harp on you. This video went way different than I planned to, so I'm just going to cut it off. But guys, learn to use Grok and ask Grok to prove you right or prove you wrong. Quote the exact statement when someone says something, right? The first thing I do is type in when I hear some big announcement about some token. I go, can you prove this right? And Grok will tell you where it came from. Or if there's a proof, he'll say, well, they said that came out of the White House, but we checked the White House news releases, nothing. There's no proof. There's no press release. Stuff like that, right? Grok, someone just told me that Quant can go to 10,000. Is that possible? He's going to laugh at you. And if it is possible, how long will that take? 30 years, which it won't be around in 30 years. But anyway, guys, do yourself a favor, become non-biased, search for the truth. That's how you're going to be successful. It's your money. Why would you want to listen to someone that never tells you the truth? Most of these tokens, guys, are like commodities, like I said. They have 1,000-year supply. XRP, XLM. They could do every transaction that they could possibly do, full capacity. 1,500 transactions per second, 24 hours a day for 100 years. And Ripple wouldn't burn up their supply yet. 100 years, guys. But yet we're going to have a supply shock. Don't mean to get on XRP, but guys, the misinformation is exactly why everyone's hating crypto right now. Go find some people you can trust that will tell you the truth and explain to you about tokenomics. I've heard people say market cap doesn't matter. Those people are out of their mind. They're very uneducated. Market cap matters. Tokenomics is one of the most important things out there, especially in the bear market, because these bad tokenomic projects are going to keep dumping and keep dumping for 3 straight years in the next bear market. You can't handle it. Bad tokenomics don't matter as much in a full-fledged bull market. It doesn't matter at all during altcoin season. When something's ripping and doing a 2, 3, 4, 5x, 6x, 10x, it can handle the dumps. But boy, when that bear market gets here, whew. All right, didn't mean to go this long, guys. Learn how to short and learn how to use Grok and take profits so you're going to become the profits. Didn't mean to get on my rant. Take care, guys.